All right, is everybody having a good time so far? Let's kick off the evening by lighting up the star of the show, the National Christmas Tree. Everybody ready? Let's count down. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas!
So millions of Americans have continued to call for additional stimulus checks. Like rapid inflation, as rapid inflation takes its toll on the economy, with analysts suggesting that this past Thanksgiving holiday could be the most expensive in history. Nearly 3 million people have signed an online change.org petition calling on Congress to issue more stimulus checks. The issue, which has been backed by nearly 2.97 million people, urges Congress to approve monthly direct payments of $2,000 per month. Several other petitions on change.org have made similar calls for lawmakers and Biden to send out more stimulus checks. Each petition has gotten tens or even hundreds of thousands of signatures, calling for additional monthly payments, or at least a fourth stimulus check, as consumers continue to see higher and higher prices due to inflation. Now, Biden did send out the fourth stimulus checks earlier this year, but now parents are struggling financially. They may qualify for one final boost in their child tax credit next month. Under the American Rescue Plan Act, Biden expanded the child tax credits, boosting the maximum refundable amount to $3,600. He also made it so parents could get an advance on the half of the payment. On the first half of their payment, and up to $1,800 for children under 6, and up to $1,500 per child ages 6 to 17. These payments were issued over the span of 6 months in the amount up to $250 and up to $300 depending on the child's age. There is one last payment next month, and there may be a chance to get an increase if you qualify. To get the boost, you must be a parent that lost their job in 2021, or be part of a household that saw a dramatic salary decrease. So I recommend updating your financial status in the IRS portal. So if parents are already receiving the highest amount, then they will not be eligible for an increased payment. This means if you gain the full $300 or $250, you will not qualify. To apply for this booster, you can do so before the cutoff of November 29th. The deadline has passed for anyone that did not sign up for the payments, despite qualifying. Now, meanwhile, people in Congress are calling under the child tax credits until 2025. If they do not, 35 million families are set to lose their child tax credit cash in just 3 weeks.
It is wonderful to be back in North Carolina. Shonda, I want to thank you for your skill, for your knowledge, for showing us around today and just increasing our enthusiasm and excitement for what's happening here in this state and around the country, both because of the skilled workers who actually make it all come together, but also because of the innovation that we are seeing every day, and certainly here at this facility. I want to thank Secretary Pete Buttigieg, where are you? There you are, for joining me today and for serving our nation as the Secretary of our Department of Transportation. You've been doing extraordinary work, and thank you for that. Also traveling with me today is Congresswoman Alma Adams, and I want to thank you, Congresswoman. I will say to your home state that I see the Congresswoman in the halls of Congress, in the White House. She is always fighting for the people of her district and the people of North Carolina, whether the cameras are on or the cameras are off. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you. And of course, Governor, it is always good to be with you. It is always good to be with you. And Mayor, thank you for hosting us. So this is a day that we are celebrating, as we will continue to do, the passage of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. And North Carolina, you know well, leaders like Congresswoman Adams, like Governor Roy Cooper, like Mayor Vi Lyles, like all of the state and local elected officials who are here today, leaders like Senator Richard Burr and Senator Thom Tillis, all made it possible for me and the President to turn the bipartisan infrastructure deal into the bipartisan infrastructure law. Because of their work, because of our work together, America is moving again. Because ultimately, that's what infrastructure is all about, getting people moving. You know, the way I see it, infrastructure gives people what they need to get where they need to go. That's my definition of infrastructure. Help the people get where they need to go. And so think about the buses that are around us, the bus that's behind me. People rely on public transportation for all kinds of reasons. To get groceries, to get to school on time, to get to work on time, to get to church on time. For millions of Americans, public transportation is part of their day every day. And a bus stop within walking distance can make all the difference versus a bus stop you have to walk for half an hour to get to. And we all know what it means for someone to miss a bus by just 1 minute, and that it can mean being at least an hour late for work. All of these are issues that we will address by paying attention to the need to put resources into our public transit systems. And we all know that we're on one of these beautiful electric rail cars, but we all know what it's like to be on an outdated rail car. We were talking about that in terms of the frequency that it might break down and the frequency with which it needs repair. In states across our nation, public transportation is not as fast or as frequent, as safe or as healthy as it can be. And people who use public transportation for their commute often spend much more of their time in transit, time that they could be spending with their friends and family, helping their children do their homework, time they could spend running essential errands or even relaxing after a hard day work. And there is a major repair backlog in our nation. 24,000 buses, 5,000 rail cars, 200 stations that are in need of work, thousands of miles of tracks, signals, and power systems in our country need to be repaired. We need to get fixing all of these things. We need to get this fixing done. So, North Carolina public transit is a good public good, and that is why we are investing in it. With our bipartisan infrastructure law, we will make the largest ever investment in public transit in our nation's history. North Carolina alone will receive $910 million for public transit over the next 5 years. And Governor Cooper, I want to thank you for always being such a very strong and powerful advocate for the needs of this state. And for here in Charlotte, Mayor, well, you are doing extraordinary work, upgrading your bus system with more connections, more frequent service, and more electric buses. And I know that the funding that we are delivering will help with all of that important and good work. And here's the bottom line. World-class cities like Charlotte deserve world-class transit systems.